Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for tuning in for a quick video today. Going to look at some of the cards that I acquired for my collection during the month of May that just wrapped up last week. I've really been focusing, as I've talked about a few times now, on condensing my collection, selling cards, and just reducing the overall size of my collection, both in terms of number of cards and space that it's taking up, as well as monetary value to an extent. So I'm really having a lot of good luck with that. In fact, May was my best month yet. I crunched the numbers this past weekend, and it turns out I sold about 25 times the value in cards compared to what I spent in the month of May. And that is a home run for me. That's exactly what I'm looking to do. But I did still make some pickups. Most of them are the budgetary variety. And we're going to start with the ones that you've been looking at here in the background as I got through the intro. These Sandlot cards. Now, these actually belong to my wife, and the backstory here, she had a special edition Blu-ray of the movie, and for you young kids, Blu-rays are discs that we used to put into Blu-ray players to watch movies back in the day. But anyway, the Sandlot copy that she had, we both love that movie. It came with this commemorative 10-card trading set. So we've got the Beast, Benny, Bertram, Ham, Kenny, Smalls, of course, the main character of the film, Squints, Timmy and Tommy, and then we finish out with Yeah. So the issue that you may have seen, those of you with a good eye as I was flipping through these, my wife doesn't exactly have the same appreciation for sports cards that I do. These kind of got tossed around in the Blu-ray case for a few years. And by the time I found these and rescued them, the Bertram card had taken a beating. And if you can see it here, this thing's been bent, creased multiple ways. There's actually a tear in the side here. I mean, this thing is rough. So in the months or so since I found these, moved them in my hobby room here, it was really eating at me that my team set had, or my complete Sandlot set had one card that looked like this. So finally got off my butt, got on eBay last month and picked up a replacement Bertram. This cost $5 shipped, and now I can get rid of this one and have a nice minty copy to complete my little Sandlot Blu-ray exclusive set, I guess we'll call it. I have one quick hockey thing, and then we're going to switch back to baseball to close it out. And I have a couple really nice ones to end with. But on the hockey front, I'm a Hartford Whalers fan and collector, which I've mentioned before. And there are very few opportunities these days to add new Hartford Whalers cards to my collection. Sadly, it's been almost 30 years now since they left the state of Connecticut for the Carolinas and became the Hurricanes. But a few years back, and these two cards I've shown before, Upper Deck did this chronology release, and they had some hard-signed, autographed Whalers cards on the checklist. And I had picked up these two way back when, Sylvain Turgeon and Ray Ferraro, known as Chicken Parm. And recently, in the month of May, a trio of them was listed on eBay by the same seller at open auction, ending at the same time, and I was able to grab all three. We got Nelson Emerson here, kind of a squiggly autograph there. Andrew Castles, longtime Whalers great, played with the team for many years and was a fan favorite. You can see here he was the assistant captain at the time of this photo. This one must have been a mail-in card or redemption or something with the Upper Deck sticker over it. And then the third one from the seller, the one that I was most excited about, Mike Liut, the goaltender that I always think of when I think of the 1980s and the Hartford Whalers. And just due to, nobody really caring too much about hockey and obscure Whalers players, was able to get this trio, including tax and shipping, to my door for about $20. So I couldn't pass that up. Opportunity to add three more hard-signed Hartford Whalers autos to the collection. And it's going to be all baseball from here on out, especially this time of year. Although I do love hockey and the playoffs have been a ton of fun to watch, in the summer months, I really do tend to focus on baseball. And one of the things that I've been working diligently at for over a year now is building out a Z Folio album dedicated to the Negro Leagues. And I made a few pickups this past month. These were very, very cheap. Every one of these next few cards was $5 or less, and these are going to fill out that album. Now, I have a whole section that includes versions of the Josh Gibson 2024 update card. And this, of course, here is the base Topps Chrome Sapphire edition. Now, I had another copy of this. I have a complete rainbow of this card, including the gold vinyl 1/1, or not gold vinyl, Superfractor in the World of Topps 1/1. But I got a second copy of just the base card to go into the Z Folio binder because it was so cheap. This was like $2 and change, and it will look great laid out. And then I found a couple of other versions as well. I'm trying to work on a 2-page spread of all different versions of this card. So I got the Meyer Purple, and these could be pretty condition sensitive too. I think they still come in blister packs loose. So to find one with kind of sharp corners and edges like this, and again, like these are not valuable cards. This was like a $2 pickup with free shipping or $1 shipping, something like that. So there's your Meyer Purple. This next one is the green foil board. They've done a few different types of these foil boards the past maybe 4 or 5 years now. They are serial numbered. In this case, the green is out of $4.99. And then last but not least, this one's kind of just wild out there in left field, but it made me laugh. And again, it was cheap. I got the holiday, like the jack-o'-lantern parallel here. Some great shine on this, and yeah, just totally random, but I dig that. And this will be one of the 18 versions that I'll have spread across that 2-page spread in the Negro Leagues Z Folio. And I promise that is getting there. It's now past 3/4 full, maybe even 80% or more full. So I do plan on showing that off this summer. And to that extent, I have another card that's going right into that binder before we move on to some buybacks to close out the video. Was able to score the 1959 Topps Bob Boyd in Heritage Box Topper buyback format. Of course, the uncle of Oil Can Boyd and a bridge player who began his career in the Negro Leagues before joining Major League Baseball. And my good buddy Peeps, Josh, here on YouTube, has had a copy of this buyback for a while now, and I've been very, very envious of it. So I had set a saved search for Bob Boyd buybacks probably a year ago now. And finally, this past month during May, this one hit. It was a $4.99 buy it now. And this is going right into the buyback section of that Negro Leagues album. All right, now let's look at, I think I've got 3 more here to close out the video, or maybe 4. All buybacks and all fantastic cards. We're going to start with this cheap one. Snagged this Max Scherzer. This is from the 2024 Advent Calendar. You can see the 2024 Topps Originals ornament stamp there. But originally, this is a 2017 Topps Max Scherzer base card. Now, the reason I gravitated towards this one, he won the Cy Young Award in 2017 with the Nationals. So I'm a fan of cards that represent big seasons, historical milestones, trophy-winning seasons, things like that. I know I'm certainly not alone in that, but that is what made this particular Max Scherzer buyback really appealing to me. I think I won this or got an accepted best offer on this for about $8, and hopefully this will make my buyback Frankenset in slot number 595. I've got now one of, to me, this is not a valuable card, but to me, it's one of the greatest cards of the 1970s. And when Topps Heritage dropped this year, I was honestly hoping to find this exact card in Heritage Box Topper buyback format. Finally was able to reel one in. Got this for under $20. Some of you may think that is crazy, but this card just makes me laugh every single time I see it. And I'm glad to have it represented in my buyback collection proper. It is, of course, the 1976 Topps Traded Oscar Gamble, featuring, in my estimation, the greatest afro ever depicted on a baseball card. It's got to be in the running anyway. Of course, this one will not be eligible for my Frankenset because it is a traded card, number 74T. But I don't care. I do have another destination in mind for this. I have a couple of other buyback projects that I have not yet shared here on the channel, and this will be a perfect addition to that. This is the type of card that is really unique, not for everyone, but when I tell you, like, this made my entire week when I was able to secure this and get it in buyback format. So really pleased with that one. And then I've got one here that is from the Topps Archives Signature Series release, these on-card autographs, foil stamped buybacks that are issued by Topps. I've mentioned numerous times now that I am sort of collecting any that I can find from my first set, 1990 Topps Baseball. And I have a really nice one here to share in today's video. Track down the Will Clark All-Star card. How cool is that? A little bit difficult to make out here, but this is numbered to 17. I got copy 13 of 17. Love the 90 Topps All-Stars. Love Will Clark. He was one of my big three players that I player collected and sort of emulated playing backyard baseball growing up. And to find his All-Star card in this certified autograph is just killer, especially because only a month or two ago, I was able to acquire his base card in Archive Signature Series auto format. And now I've got the All-Star card to pair along with it. I believe I have to update my sheet after the video here. I think I might be up to 40 Archive Signature Series cards from the 1990 Topps release now. So pretty cool. That project has been a long time building, over 10 years to get to this point. And every time I find one, if the price is right, it's just really, really hard to leave them behind. In fact, I have a couple of others on the way that I purchased that just haven't arrived yet. So there'll be more of those on the channel soon. And then we're going to close it out with, at least as far as buybacks go, one that I would consider like a banger, as the kids would say. This is also from the 2024 Topps Advent Calendar. And it's the 1967 Topps Roger Maris. How freaking awesome is that? I love Roger Maris, as you know, if you've tuned into the channel with any frequency over the years. I'm a big fan of the home run record, everything that he went through in the summer of '61, all the stress that he endured and getting there right at the tail end of the season. Now, this is obviously a later career card, being a 1967 Topps original. And while I do prefer his Yankees era stuff, this one was just too intriguing to pass up as a collector of buybacks. And I do love, even though it's a post-Yankees card, as a card collector, there's something cool about the Cardinals releases that just say cards across the bottom. I find that hilarious. But what really makes this special, as if it wasn't cool enough, some of the Advent buybacks that came out are actually stamped 1-of-1s. And that is the case for this Maris. If you see on the back here, there is your 1-of-1 stamp. So this is the one and only Roger Maris 1967 Topps card that was issued as a buyback at the end of last year. This one will almost certainly be headed into the buyback Frankenset in slot number 45, and it represents a really cool addition to both my buyback collection, but also my Roger Maris collection overall. So pun intended, it was a home run. Had to pick this up, and I thought, to be honest with you, I didn't think I'd win this card. It went up at open auction, and buybacks have gotten a lot more popular. Of course, Maris is wildly popular as well. And I expected to lose this card and to be outbid on this card. And amazingly, I won it for $62.61. And those are pretty important numbers if you're familiar with Maris. So I thought that total was pretty wild. Couldn't believe that it came out to $62.61, the winning bid. And this is also the most expensive card that I bought in the month of May. So like I mentioned, really cut back, really tried to be precise with my purchases, frugal with my purchases, not spend a lot of money, focus on moving cards out of my collection rather than bringing them in. But of course, a big part of the hobby is acquiring cardboard. I love the hunt. I love acquiring new stuff. And so I did make the small pickups that you see in front of you here. It's been a great month in the hobby. I'm certainly looking forward to what June has to offer. I appreciate any of you who gave me 13 plus minutes of your time checking out my pickups. I'll be back soon here with some more videos later this week, in fact. But in the meantime, just enjoy the hobby, everybody. Take care.